Hello and welcome. And today's video is called Don't Get Stuck with Short Sentences. Many ESL learners write and speak in short sentences because it's easier. The problem is that the amount of information in each sentence is small, and it leaves the listener or the reader with more questions. A native English speaker would probably cover some of these obvious follow-up questions by making the first sentence longer. The kind of extra information people want is covered by who, what, where, when, why, and maybe how. Basic sentences usually already cover who and what. Who is the subject of the sentence and what is the verb. So, for example, nor Joyce, who, is getting married, what. Once you have got the basic sentence, the short sentence an ESL learner would make, it's easy to add the extra info that the listener might want. So where? Nor Joyce is getting married. Where? In Mesot. When? Nor Joyce is getting married in Mesot on Saturday. Why? Nor Joyce is getting married in Mesot on Saturday because she has found the man she loves. How? Nor Joyce is getting married in Mesot on Saturday by the Baptist pastor because she has found the man she loves. The last sentence, with all the info in it, is messy. It's too long, and no one would speak or write like that. You should probably not try to add more than about 3 pieces of extra info to the basic sentence. Which ones you add depends on the reader, and you should choose the ones you use according to what the reader or the listener will want to know. If it's an invitation to the wedding, the info the reader needs is pretty obvious. Where is it and when? Generally, the why question is fairly boring. Most people's reasons for getting married are roughly the same. There might be occasional exceptions if someone is obviously getting married for money or if the woman is pregnant, but those are things you probably wouldn't write about and you might not even talk about them. In other situations, the why question might be much more important. If the basic sentence was, "No, Joyce is moving to Bangkok," telling somebody why is an important piece of information. So you would probably say, "No, Joyce is moving to Bangkok because she's got a new job there." The obvious next question is when, so you might want to say that in the first sentence. No one's interested in how she will get there. So don't go from one extreme to the other. Don't go from super short sentences to super long ones. Pick the ones you think your reader or listener most wants to know. Okay, you try. You have to choose which out of when, where, why, how to add to the basic sentence. Which would you choose? All the education major graduates have decided to do some activity together on the night of graduation before they all leave the McKee. So the basic sentence is, "We will eat barbecue." So you have to choose 2 out of why, when, where, and how to add to this sentence. And I'm going to go ahead with the answer. So I'm going to say you need to say when and where. That's the most important information that the listener wants to know. How, why is much less important. Okay, next one. I'm planning to go shopping. Is there anything you want me to get? So again, you have to choose 2 out of why, when, where, and how. answer, when, and where. You don't much care why the person is going. That's not your business. And how probably doesn't matter. They wouldn't be asking you unless they were going by some way that they could carry your stuff back. Next one. Do you want to play volleyball? Again, two out of why, when, where, and how. And your answer, you need to know when and where. You can't really answer until you have that information. Why, how, not very important. I'm learning to play the piano. Again, same choice. And the answer, why, how. When you have your lessons, where you have your lessons, not particularly important. They want to know why you've picked the piano and how you're going to learn. Are you going to learn online? Are you going to learn from somebody who lives close to you? I'm starting a new business. Same choice again. And the answer, when and how. So, what are you going to do is obviously the big question, and when you're going to start it. You have to use your critical thinking. Having a system to make longer sentences, like asking yourself if the listeners might want to know where, when, why, or how, is a helpful idea, but it's not foolproof. Let's say our sentence is, No, Joyce is getting married on Saturday at the Baptist Church at Thumaki. We have added where and when to the basic sentence that says who and what. We've chosen to leave out the answer to why. But there's one more piece of information that the reader almost certainly wants to know. And it's not why, where, when, or how. Can you think what it might be? Yes. Who to? That's not really on the list. We've already covered the who question when we said no Joyce. So while the checklist helps a lot, you still need to use your critical thinking. The big question here is, what does the reader need to know about this situation? And the why, when, where, how checklist is a big help, but sometimes you have to use your critical thinking to double check. Okay, what about the order? The core part of the sentence, No Joyce is getting married, has to be like that. Anything else you add has to be before or after that. You can't put anything in the middle of that part. You can't say, No, Joyce on Saturday is getting married. The why question can go at the start or at the end. In the example we've already looked at, it's at the end. At the start, it would be, because she has found the man she loves, No Joyce is getting married in Mesot on Saturday. Where and when can go in either order. In the earlier example, we put where before when. The other way round, it would be, No Joyce is getting married on Saturday in Mesot. Both ways are fine. Okay, you try. Again. Underline the part of the sentence in brackets at the end. So the sentence is, because it was raining this afternoon, I ran all the way home. So you have to underline or write down the part of the sentence that tells you why. And the answer, because it was raining. Next one. I hid the chocolates in the kitchen this afternoon because I didn't want to eat them yet. So you have to say who is the person. And the answer, I. Nomukapo planted a lime tree last year next to the church to celebrate the arrival of the new pastor. You have to say which words tell you where. And the answer, next to the church. They couldn't pass their exam at school last year because they didn't study. You have to find the words that tell you what. And the answer, pass their exam. After my mother died, I was very unhappy at home because everything in the house reminded me of her. You have to find the words that tell you when. And the answer, after my mother died. So the next group of questions, you have to say which one out of who, what, why, when, and where is missing from these sentences. I went to the beach for my holiday. And the answer, when. So you have I for the who, went for the what, to the beach for the where, for my holiday for the why. The one that's missing is when. Because it was the last day of term, Teacher Brand sang a song. So which one is missing? And the answer, where. It tells you the why, because it was the last day of term. Tells you the who, Teacher Brand. Tells you what they did, they sang a song, or he sang a song. But it doesn't tell you where. So Gedawa ate chicken curry for his dinner because it was his favorite. And the one that's missing is where. So you know who, so Gedawa, what, he ate chicken curry because it was his favorite is the why, for his dinner is the when, but you haven't got the where. Don't go to the waterfall tonight because there is a ghost there. And the one that's missing on this one is the who, because this is imperative. Imperatives, you don't have a subject. So you don't have you don't, or I don't, or they don't. You just have don't. So no subject, so no who. They want us to go to their house at 6 p.m. So the answer is why. They is who. They want us to go. That's what they wanted us to do. Where? To their house. When? 6 p.m. They don't tell us why. So the next one, for each of the sentences below, you have to add the where, when, and why to make one long sentence. So Soong is playing football. You have to add where, when, why. So I'm going to give you my version, which of course might be completely different than your version. So mine says Soong is playing football on Friday in the school's football competition in Mae Sot. So on Friday is the when, in the school's competition is the why, and in Mae Sot is the where. Noda is studying English. And my version of that one, Noda is studying English every day at school because she wants to be a translator. So every day is the time, at school is the where, and because she wants to be a translator is the why. Teacher Brandon is singing. And my version of that one, Teacher Brandon is singing in Australia next month to raise money for Karen education. So in Australia is the where, next month is the when, to raise money for Karen education is the why, and that answers the question. Next one, the tree is growing. And the answer, my answer at least, the tree is growing now by the river because it gets plenty of water there. So now is the when, by the river is the where, and because it gets plenty of water there is the why. All the students are going back. And my answer is all the students are going back to their village. Where? After graduation. When? To help their family. Why? Now I'll give you the where and the when or the why, and you have to make up the rest of the sentence. So, for example, I will give you at Christmas, which is the when. You have to make up a long sentence like, I am staying at TMK at Christmas because there is fighting in my village. So I is the who, staying is the what, at TMK is the where, at Christmas is the when, and because there is fighting in my village is the why. Okay, try this one. In the cold season, which is the when. And my version of this one, in the cold season, I stay what? In my bed, where? Longer in the morning, when? Because I wake up in the night. Why? Next, at the waterfall, which is where? And my answer, which of course may be different from yours, at the waterfall, we, which is the who, have a picnic, which is the what, in the hot season, which is the when, because it's fun, which is the why. Next one, because I don't have any money, which is why. And my answer for this one, I'm who, not going, what, to the market, where, on Tuesday, when, because I don't have any money. On my friend's birthday, which is when again. And this one, I, which is the who, am going, what, to a party, where, on my friend's birthday, because he invited me. Why? Next one, in my house, which is where. And my answer for that one, my mother, who makes me take my shoes off, what, before, when I enter in my house, so I don't make the house dirty. Why? Last one, because I want to help my Karen people, which is the why. And the answer for that one, after I graduate, which is when, I, which is who, will work, which is what, for KHRG, which is where, because I want to help my Karen people, which is why. And this is the end, my friend. See you next time.